It is Wednesday, my dudes, and today we're going to be looking at Intel versus AMD and who's actually winning this fight between these two companies. They've been rivals for many years, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's between the gamers to decide who is the champion. Now, for those of you who don't know, Steam actually has a survey to see what components gamers are using on their Steam profile. We can see a monthly breakdown of it right here. So here we see AMD has a total market share on Steam. Now, this does not account for every single gamer, but Steam is probably the best way for the world to have an indication of what gamers are using in gaming systems. So AMD has been doing quite well, and we can see in April and in May have actually gained market share from Intel, but then all of a sudden in June they seem to have taken a step back and lost some market share, where Intel went from 69% in May to 71% in June. Now, going just over 70% is actually quite a big deal. So yes, this is bad news for AMD. Now, another article suggests that it is because of the 5950X and the 5900X from AMD that is not available on websites like Amazon and Newegg. I think I disagree here just slightly. I believe that this slight shift is mainly because of pricing. Intel has been able to slash their prices aggressively, especially for mid to low end 11th gen and 10th gen CPUs are absolutely priced insanely cheap right now. It's a steal to go with an Intel platform right now. A great example would be looking at the Ryzen 5 1600, which is a first gen Ryzen chip, and it's selling for $148. Now, I know there's a 1600AF, which is basically a clock down to 600, but having said that, this is still Zen 1 selling for $148. AMD is really riding the Ryzen is best type of marketing here. Well, if you compare that to a 10th gen, which is only one generation behind the current 11th gen, the 10100F, it's an i3 processor, that's fair, only 4 cores instead of the 6 cores that AMD offers, but in gaming, this thing beats it 5 to 10%, which is pretty cool. And this is also a 3.6 gigahertz processor, where the AMD is also 3.6. So it really puts it into that bracket that Steam so graciously showed us, that most gaming CPUs, Intel or AMD, are running 3.3 to 3.7 gigahertz all the time. So this fits in perfectly into that. But there's about a $40 difference between these two chips. And if I had to choose one, although this has more cores, they are weaker cores when it comes for gaming. I'd rather take the $40 here, and you can basically buy a motherboard or even memory for that price. So your entry into gaming right now, where everything is so overpriced, is cheaper, and it makes sense. And I am a big AMD fan, but they're going to have to do something about their pricing if they want to stay competitive in this market. So why do you think AMD is losing market share to Intel? Let me know in the comments down below. And what is your next PC going to look like? Is it going to be AMD or is it going to be Intel? Would love to hear from you guys. Remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, do that now and hit that thumbs up if you like this video. And I will see you guys in the next one.